Hey everybody, welcome to American Idol Unaired. I'm your host, Bennett Shear, and I'm so pumped because we have our very first guest from season 15 of American Idol. Please welcome Mionne Destiny.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I'm so great. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be talking to you.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love your energy. I love your spirit. I love your sign that says if you can dream it, you can do it.
Yes.
What's that
Thank
other
you.
one? I see a little part of it on top, something about the
Yes. So
hardest
it
climbs.
says the best thing in life comes after the hardest climbs.
Mm.
Yeah. This is my little like corner, my little nook in my classroom. I'm a theater teacher here in Atlanta. And so this is where you can find some of the inspiration in the classroom.
We love our teachers. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what you do, the grades you teach, and what you teach?
Yeah, sure. Well, I like to call myself a teacher by day and performer by night. And then I like to end that with not all heroes wear capes. Um, I am a teacher. I've been teaching unofficially since I was in 11th grade. I led my first acting workshop in 11th grade. And I've been literally teaching theater ever since. I started teaching officially in the APS system last year. I was teaching writing, and that was cool. But now I get to teach theater, which is super exciting because I get to really, really cultivate the skill and the craft, and that's what I'm all about.
It must be so rewarding to be able to give back what you do for yourself and then help others, let alone the
Yeah.
younger generation.
Yeah, and my students are so supportive. They're always like, "Well, Miss Stoney, you got a show today, so we can't let her yell today because she has to sing tonight." Like, well, y'all know she got an audition coming up, so good luck, Miss. Like, they're always keeping up with my schedule. They're always wishing me luck. They're making sure like that I'm getting my performing done. So I love this environment where I get to live my dream while helping them find theirs.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love that. I love talking to teachers, and I personally I've never even had a teacher that has also performed. So this is so fun. I can't imagine how cool it must be for your students. It must be so neat to learn from somebody who's out there who's doing it, and they really get to see that example, and it must be such an inspiration to them.
I try. I think my biggest thing is being realistic. And so I love when I let them know when I don't get auditions. I let them know, like, when I'm having a tough time. I think it's super important for them to know, like, especially going into the industry, you're not always going to get a yes. And you're not always going to make the most money from the project that gets the most popularity, right? A lot of times we are going on tour in countries that have never heard of us, and the people here at home have no idea. So just being consistent, being persistent, right? And fortitude is the big thing, like pushing through even through the nose.
Oh yeah. Now you have me wondering if there was a teacher or even multiple teachers that were really inspiring to you. If we want to make this full circle, go back in time to when you were a student that really kind of helped shape you into who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, first of all, my mom's a teacher.
Mm,
So that's the very first person. My mom is a published author. She created a documentary for a master's class and ended up
wow.
got picked up in like six different countries. She is a poet, she's a singer, she's an activist. Like, that is literally my very first inspiration. She's everything I could have ever thought a woman could be.
Wow.
um and I just really enjoy, and these teachers know them. I just really enjoy the teachers that I got at Grambling State University. Those teachers really, really, really invested into my experience. And a lot of them believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, which is one of the reasons why I ended up doing American Idol. I wanted to prove to my friends at Grambling and my teachers at Grambling that I wasn't ready to be a singer. I wasn't ready to be on American Idol. So let me audition to prove this to you. And I ended up making it. So,
Wow. Were you a fan of the show? Had you watched it previously?
of course, when the show first started, I was a super huge fan. I'm originally from Chicago, so when Jennifer Hudson was on, it was like our Chicago dream. And I think like after that, I kind of veered away from it a while because I wasn't always a singer. I was more of an actress. American Idol was just like this dream that felt so far away. Um, so yeah, I was a fan of it then, but then like I said, it felt so far away. So I was like, okay, whatever. It's just American Idol. And then I ended up doing it and having the experience. And I was like every day, like, this is American Idol. Like, it was so amazing.
This is American Idol.
Exactly.
Well, hey, sometimes when you're a star, when you're that performer, you go from singing, you go to acting, you go back and forth. You got to be that triple threat, dancing, whatever you want to do. You got to,
Exactly.
like your mom, she did so many different things, and you never know what opportunities are going to come your way.
Exactly. And getting fear out the way. The only reason I wasn't trying to be a triple threat is because I was afraid of being a singer. I was afraid of people not liking my voice. And now that I'm not afraid anymore, I get to be all those things. So
Yeah.
just remember that.
Wow. That's incredible because, I think on the surface we think about what these shows can do for you career-wise, but it sounds like it did a lot for you personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's been a couple of years, and as we were just saying before we started recording, and I mentioned in the intro, you're from season 15, and that was the season right before the show was going to end. And I don't know if there's ever been a show that made such a big deal about ending and then coming right back less than
Coming
two
right
years
back the
later.
next season.
So, I know you said you didn't really watch it a ton before that happened, but what was it like? Tell me about the energy maybe going on to a show that made such a big deal about ending and you being a part of that final season.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think like the biggest thing for me was the lines and the waiting. And I think I got in line at like 4 in the morning and I didn't leave until like 8 that evening. And it was just so like everything was a long wait. There were so many people there. It was the first time that I was ever in a room with so many talented people. It was like a little overwhelming, and I think that because it was the finale season for Fox, everybody brought their A game, and a lot of people brought a lot of the same games. So I remember one funny thing I remember is the guy stood up and he was like, "Anybody singing At Last by Etta James, please pick a different song." And so just seeing the in and out, like seeing the production team really want this to be amazing. And so seeing the things that they were doing to make sure that this was their vision, the
Hmm.
whole thing was just really fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you learned a ton about TV production and the whole process that we don't get to see at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea that you had to audition for the show before you got to the celebrity judges. I
Right.
thought everybody just went straight to J Lo and was like, "Hey, I'm, whoever." But no, I think I auditioned 4 times before I even got to audition in front of the celebrity judges. And even that process is nerve wracking because this person can say yes and then this person can say no. My very first audition for American Idol, the guy told me no,
Mm.
but I had a interview sticker because I was coming from my summer break. So I was going right to school. I had all of my luggage that I was going to take back to school with me. So they thought that I had like this big, I walked here kind of story. So they gave me an interview sticker. So the guy was like, "Well, I mean, there's nothing that I really can do with you, but since you have an interview sticker, you can go down and audition for them."
Hmm.
And I was like,
In the same
"Okay."
season. Wow.
And I auditioned for them and they were like, "Okay, we like you. Can you sing a different song to them?" And I was like, "Okay." And so every step of the way, it was like, "Okay, yeah. So can you do something different? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And I thought it was really interesting. In the beginning, I knew like I'm not who they're looking for. And I like LaPortia, who ended up winning with Trent that year. Both I ended up being really cool with both LaPortia and Trent. But she like they kind of put us together. They put all like the black girls with the afros together, and we were all like, "Okay, well, you got the best voice out of all of us. So if it's just us," And so like we kind of saw from the beginning, or me, I kind of saw from the beginning what they were looking for and where I fit, and I just wanted to learn as much as I could before my time was up.
Whether or not you get aired, whether or not you make it as far as you may intend to, you still get to soak up that experience with those people who might make it far. You get to
Yeah.
experience it with them. And again, all these things that the viewers don't see is what you get to experience. The step by step process, it's not just going in front of the judges. So there's that big cattle call, right? Where there's probably thousands of people. Did that start in Atlanta or did you have to go to a different city?
No, so I auditioned in Little Rock, Arkansas. I was visiting a friend in Prescott, Arkansas before I went back to school. I went to school in a small town, Grambling, Louisiana. So it wasn't very far. The audition wasn't very far from where my ending destination was. And again, I was only popping up to prove that I wasn't ready. So I thought it was going to be a turnaround trip.
Yeah. Wow.
And it
Huh.
ended up, American Idol took most of that junior year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how things end up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, tell me about your song choices because you probably were relieved that you didn't choose it last and you sang something else to,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know it was a rocky journey to getting that interview sticker, but what did you end up singing?
So the very first song that I sang was "Let's Hear It for the Boy"
Mm.
by Denise Williams. By Denise. But I sang "Let's Hear It for the Boy." It's from the Footloose soundtrack. And like I said, I'm a big theater kid. I'm a big theater nerd. Any vocal training that I had gotten before that point was from theater. So I was like, we're gonna do this song. I can do a little shaja shaja, And they were like, oh, okay. Can you sing something younger? And I was like, sure. And so I sang some Jill Scott because I'm super like earthy and peace and all that. And they were like, cool. But what about like Beyonce or Rihanna? You don't have any of that. And I was like, I've never thought about singing a Beyonce or Rihanna song. And then up until this point, I had never thought about singing. So that was like a really, like, that was an epiphany moment for me. I understood like song choice is important. You may sound really good singing this song, but this song doesn't convey the emotion that you need. Like song choice is everything. And I
Hmm.
don't think that my song choices were the best. I literally was just like, well, what do I normally sing? I'll just sing this, sure. And so I think that anybody who's gonna go for it, like go for Idol or go for any of these shows, like understanding song choice is like the most important thing. And then they love when you put your own little spin on something that they already know. This girl did Barracuda, the ooh Barracuda, and she did her. It was so amazing how she put her own little spin on it. So yeah, that's song choice. That's my little spiel on song choice.
Yeah, I wonder because you mentioned Barracuda. I wonder how much, I mean, maybe you can tell me at the time you were there, like how much they might care about modern songs versus older songs, and because their audience too is probably something that plays into the songs they like.
Yeah, something I noticed is that there was a certain demographic that they praised, like that really like soulful, like if you grew up in the church, like we hear that growl, we hear that, like some people they were looking for that, some people they were looking for like pop. Like I think that based on what your look was, that's kind of the song choice that they wanted from you, and whether it be modern or a classic or whatever your song choice may be. I think that if it went with the look, if it went with the story, right? If you are a fighter and your story is you fought your whole life to get here, and then you sing ooh Barracuda,
Yeah.
right, then it just all goes together, and then the
Right.
audience is eating it up, and it's like, oh my god, what are you gonna sing next, right? So yeah.
At what point do you really start getting to know people? Is it once you get to the judges' auditions, or have you already really met people when you're in line at the big cattle call and stuff?
Well, for me, like I'm super, as you can tell already, I'm super talkative, super like social. So I was already getting to know some people in the lines, and because we had a lot of time that we were waiting, every time that I was sitting in a room or sitting in a group full of people, I was trying to get to know them and trying to talk to them. Um, I really got close with La Portia, and there's another girl, Joy Dove, who also I think got about as much time as me. I think she left one round before I did, but Joy and I got really, really close. Another girl, Jasmine, we got really close. We actually went to go get tattoos together
Oh,
after we
wow.
made it to Hollywood. So I think whatever, like whenever you decide that it's time for you to meet people, that's when you'll start making that choice. I know they had kicked one girl off because she was just like super mean to everybody in her group during the Hollywood, like there are like three, once you make it to Hollywood, there are three other rounds of auditions that you have to do. So you have a solo round, then you have your group round, and then you have your last solo round. And
Right.
so for her group round, apparently she wasn't social. She was super mean to everybody, and they had to kick her off for that. So I think like they're paying attention to all of that. And when I saw that they were paying attention to all of that, I was just so super happy that I was able to just lay back and enjoy the experience. I made so many friends that I still talk to now. And I feel like I could still reach out to Trent and LaPortia, and they'll both be like, hey, what's up, my own? Like
Yeah.
LaPortia prayed over my vocal cords when I got hoarse on the show. She's such a sweetheart. And when, like I said, when you're just there to enjoy it, it becomes such a beautiful experience. We got to have like dinner with each other's family. And in my group, like, and when we did the group round in Hollywood, I was the only person in my group who didn't have like family there. So Jordan, one of the girls that was in my group, her mom and her dad took really good care of me, especially when I got hoarse. They were going and grabbing me tea and going and getting stuff like medicine from the store. Like, people, like the connections I made, people really took care of me. And so that was just amazing.
Oh, wow. No, hey, it's good to hear because, like you said, unfortunately, it's rare, but not always the case. Like you said, there was somebody who wasn't too nice, and you hear about those things, and they love to show that on TV. We've seen the story packages of I don't know if that was aired, but there's certainly those contestants that seem like they like to cause drama. But what we don't see are the families that are making it easier for you guys and the love that you have between each other, because it doesn't always make for the best reality TV, but it's what you guys are experiencing. So that's what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we got to see the real process.
Yeah.
I got somebody asked me to come cry next to this window at one point. And they was like, this will be a good shot. If you just, can you just be sad right here? This will be great. We'll record this for the show. So we got to really see the industry. We got to understand contracts. We got to understand like what it meant when you didn't read it versus what it meant when you did. The hard decisions that you had to make for your own career. You had to decide what you were willing to sign away versus what you weren't, right? It was, as an artist, like you said earlier, like the personal experience for me was just invaluable. Like,
Wow.
I can't put it into words.
Man, so much to unpack there just from that one thought alone.
Yeah.
You said that in Little Rock, that's where you did your like the casting call, and then you also went there to meet the judges, because I know that they went there for the televised part of it too.
Yes.
Keith Urban, Jennifer Lopez, Harry Connick Jr. I'm excited. This is the first time we're talking about different judges. Don't get me wrong. I love Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, and Lionel Richie, but we've talked about the same three people for 72 episodes. So now we're getting to mix things up a little bit and talk about some new people.
Them.
What? Tell me about.
Okay, so first of all, J-Lo is gorgeous. Like the J-Lo that you see on TV, when you see people in person, you're like, oh, no, she looks even better in person. Like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, perfectly snatched in every way, shape, and form. Keith Urban and Harry Connick were just like, it was like a triangle, right? She was leading the way and they were just kind of behind her, being cool or whatever. One thing that I can say is Harry Connick Jr., that was my dude. Like, he fought for me, I think, as much as he could. There were moments where he was like, he literally told me, like, there's something about you. Like, I want to see how you'll compete with the other people. Like, I want to see you do more stuff. Like, I want to see you. And that's something that I will always remember, because I remember like looking at J-Lo's face and I was like, I don't know if she likes me. She was doing a lot of this. And I was like, I don't know. And so just to hear that from him, and to, when I, right before I got eliminated, just to hear him, still gas me, like, Mionne, you're so great. Like, we can't wait to see you again. That was just amazing. They were amazing.
I feel like they took the job seriously, but they also knew how to have fun, and it was a good balance of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that they were all really fair. I think they got, that judge panel was really, they all had a really good, well-rounded opinion of music. And I don't think that it was just too biased to one genre. I think because you had a little of the pop and maybe a little of the Latin, and you had a little of the country, and you had like all of the aspects that they bring to the table, I think really made for a well-rounded opinion of music.
Tell me about the atmosphere on set for the auditions in particular, because there's something very different about being in line just waiting to see if you can even get past all these like thousands of people to actually knowing you might get on TV. And even just being with a few hundred people, that's a big deal, knowing that you've made it that far. So what did it feel like at that point?
It was great. It was, if I thought that I was overwhelmed by the talent in the original initial audition, this was amazing. I was having conversations with people who were making up songs on the guitar in the moment. Like, people were freestyling songs and making music and having conversations and taking care of children. And like, it was just a big room of organized chaos. And I tell my kids all the time, that's my favorite thing. I love, like, there was so much happening. I was just like, oh my goodness. I think it was, they were like, listen, camera ready, 6 a.m. Any questions? So on top of the fact that it was by the time we got to Hollywood, they're 2-3 hours behind what I'm used to. The timing, that my jet lag was crazy, and just making sure that everything I was doing, I was like having conversations like this, trying to be cute for the camera all the time, wanting to be picked for interviews and like all of that stuff, like wanting to have the most fun and all of that. That was just, it was just so, it was a lot less nerve-wracking because it felt like, all right, we're here, we got it. But then on the other hand, it was like, okay, but some of us aren't going to be here tomorrow, because they would always say, look to the left and look to the right. Someone's not going to be here.
Right.
So they would always remind us of that. So as soon as we got too comfortable, they're like, all right, remember, your friend might not be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it was duality.
It sounds like you had a lot of fun with kind of the filming that wasn't just in front of the judges and the competition. You mentioned like there was the looking out into the window, and I'm guessing you got to do the interviews and all the stuff that felt like you were really part of this TV show experience.
Yeah, which is why I was surprised American Idol finale season on Fox that I didn't get any TV time. I had so many interviews. I participated in so many interviews, so many B-roll things. I helped shoot the trailer, the commercial trailer, then ended up not showing up in that. It was just like, I had so much fun, and then I was waiting to watch it on the TV.
Yeah.
And so just goes back to why are you going? Are you going to have this experience, or are you going to show the experience? Are you going to learn something, or are you going to show something? And I was going to learn, and that's really, really what I was able to do.
Yeah. I'm trying to ask myself, I don't know like the amount of, they bring more people, less people. I mean, I would know, I wasn't there, but from Fox to ABC now, they bring like, I think 300 people to the auditions and show maybe 50 of them. So it's crazy to think about how small the percentage is.
So we had 75,000 people audition for the finale season of American Idol.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that they let us know, like 75,000 people came to audition, and I made it the top 51.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was, to see the numbers dwindle down was definitely got to me sometimes. Like, I would be in the hotel room like, I wasn't even unpacking. I was like, this might be my last night. We're going to wear my best outfit and we're going to go on with the day. Right? So, yeah.
Top 51, that's the round right before
live rounds.
Top 24. So you went to the, I guess they call it the Green Mile, where you face the judges to say you're either going to the top 24 or not 24.
I did, and I made that very long trek back.
And it seems long on TV. I bet it's just as long.
Oh my God, it's so long and depressing. I could only hold it together for so long. I was in the middle of the runway, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm still walking down this thing. And Ryan Seacrest was such a sweetheart. He was just like, Mionne. And I was like, I know. It was so funny. Yeah, it was the walk. The walk was the worst part.
Do you have a bigger pit in your stomach walking to find out the results, or walking back and dealing with the aftermath of what you're feeling?
It's such a good question. Which is so sad because both pits are huge. Like, the walk down there, you're like, what are they going to say? My hands are sweating. My feet are sliding in my heels. I'm like, what are we going to do? Let me fluff my afro. Like, what are we going to, okay. And, but like I said in the beginning, like I even told them, like I came to be my Jennifer Hudson, right? That's who my inspiration was. I came to come learn as much as I can. And then whatever opportunities I get from this, that is what I'll do. And so I just wanted to give myself that grace of, if you're not the winner, you're still a winner. If you're not this winner, you're still a winner, right? And so that the pit wasn't overwhelming, but I definitely think, like I said, the walk after the no, trying to keep it in, like, okay, it's fine. We're just going to you're going to see me again, guys. And I was at the middle of the runway, like, okay, we're going to have to go, please. Right? So, yeah.
You would be jealous that, I don't know if you ever watched like any of the recent seasons. On the last season, they brought them to a resort in Malibu, and all they had to do was walk up like three little steps to go in the room, and then they just walk right out. They didn't have that long hallway.
You
And
see?
I was talking, I talked to these contestants, and they not on- they they had like a 2 day break in between the filming, so they're like out there like they get a break, they get a little like vacation at this resort in Malibu, and then when they film, they don't have to go down a long hallway. They're just walking up a few steps to see the judges in this
Oh,
beautiful room with skylights. Not
wow.
yeah.
Okay, NBC. I see what you do.
ABC,
Oh,
but
ABC. I'm
same
sorry.
thing.
Yes.
They're all the same.
Okay. Say, well, Fox wasn't taking us on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the shorter trek gives you a better opportunity to, well, thanks, guys. I had such a great time. I
Yeah.
really just want to, okay, thanks, right?
The
Yeah.
longer trek though gives people more of a moment to like see you, and to like as you're walking away they can really like, I don't know.
So that Ryan can do his voiceover and say, Mionne spent a lot of time here and she can't wait to come back. Like, okay, everybody.
I'm an optimist. I just try to see the positive in it.
I love that though. Keep it coming.
Yeah. But see, I have my ADHD brain, so I feel like there's so many different steps. But like, I'm curious about, where do I start? There's the audition. There's the group round. I feel like there must have been so many interesting moments from so many different angles. This is reminding me of that new Netflix show Kaleidoscope. I don't know if you know about it, but you can watch
Oh,
it in every order, and you can watch whatever order you watch the episodes in. You can like, it can be the same story. It's
that's
like
very
a
interesting.
it's a show. I don't know if I would even be interested about it. Like personally, other people probably would be. It's about a heist, and so
Yeah,
like it's like a mystery. So whatever order you watch the episodes in, the story is the same. I
I
just think
love
of
that.
I just think about that because I feel like it doesn't really matter what order we talk about the things that happen in American Idol, and we can still get the same story out of it. So
Literally, yeah.
my curiosity is going in so many different directions where I feel like I want to ask you in order, audition this round, that round, but you know,
I think though, if you want to talk about making it to Hollywood, getting the golden ticket,
yeah,
that was really amazing. Again, I didn't think that I would even make it far to this point. So knowing, like, hearing the famous words, "You're going to Hollywood," that was amazing. I sang country for once I made it to Hollywood for one of my solo rounds. I sang "Before He Cheats." So that was really fun. And that was the first time that I had sang like country out loud to other people. Like, I love the song. I had always sang it when it came on the radio, but I had never like performed it. So that was really exciting. Um, we sang Staying Alive by the Bee Gees for our group round. And as you can see, these songs are getting higher and higher. So we see that by the last solo round, we know why I was hoarse. We were really, really pushing. And I wanted to sing, I was like doing this jazzy rendition of Toxic by Britney Spears
mm,
because I told you I learned the lesson of song choice. So now I was trying to wow them with things that they wouldn't see coming. And so I was gonna do like this jazzy rendition of Toxic by Britney Spears, but my voice was hoarse. So I ended up having to do Chains by Nick Jonas. And so, and my voice is naturally deep anyway. And so I was able to like pick a male song that kind of showcased that. And that was really fun. But that was the last song I sang for Idol, was Chains.
uh-huh. What was your favorite performance overall from your time on the show?
My favorite, I think Before He Cheats. I
Yeah?
think that was super fun. Like, and I was like super powerhousey and like, you don't know. And like really just giving it to, I was, ooh, yeah, that was it. I felt that.
I'm telling you, like, not to drive even more crazy, but another reason that you should, I don't know if they did air that or not, but because you're singing a Carrie Underwood song, it's the final season, they want to talk about their previous winners, like, and you're putting a twist on it.
You see where I was going? You see, you get me, friend. You get me.
Man, I don't know. It's interesting the choices that they make and why they make them, and the
Yeah.
time you spent doing the interviews and doing the trailer, but
And the production team was so cool too. Like the people, like the men who were running the boom mics, they were super funny. Like everybody was cracking jokes. The cameramen were funny, and everybody was just. We were having a great time. We had a great time, so it was worth it.
I'm curious. I think a lot about how, when you go on these shows, you mentioned earlier the contracts and kind of what you're getting into as far as the industry goes. they really give every contestant some kind of story for the most part. And I'm curious if they did that for you, kind of packaging something together as far as, you know.
They tried. Well, I tried when I realized that having a story was important. I thought it was the talent thing. And so I felt like I came in unprepared for that. So literally when they asked me, I was like, my mom's gay. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't have any story. I don't know. And so that's why I ran into situations where when I did get hoarse, they were like, okay, well, this is juicy. You're showing some heavy emotions right now.
Uh-huh.
Come and show these emotions by this window while it's raining.
Oh, that's when that happened. And it's dark and rainy. Perfect.
Right. So it's like you want to come and put a story together that way.
Uh-huh.
Again, like I told you earlier, LaPortia, she prayed over my vocal cords. And so when that was a moment, they were like, hey, what do y'all do? Hey, can y'all do sit right here? Do that again right here. And so I definitely was able to see how they wanted to put a story together, but I could see how my story wasn't as juicy as a lot of the other ones. We had people that were battling like rape inside their marriage. We had people that were battling the loss of children and the loss of parents and homelessness. And I was just a girl in college, like, I can't sing. Like, so it was just like, yeah.
I think the shows, still today, they really spend a lot of time with those particular stories. But look at Jennifer Hudson. She was just a girl with a dream. And sometimes, like you said, I mean, talent is enough. And I think that the viewers know that. And I feel like sometimes, as much as the industry works the way that it does, productions can get caught up in the story because a lot of times the viewers just want to watch really talented people with a dream get a shot. And that is all it really takes sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah. And I shout out to everybody who through what they were doing came to the
Yeah.
auditions anyway, because we had to take a like 200 question test and like it was all this stuff that we had to do. So all these people who were battling all of these things and still push through. Like, that was amazing. I think Trent had mono for the first like half of the show.
I remember that.
Yes. So he had to spend his group rounds by himself. He didn't even get to have a lot of those connections that, everybody else got to have. So everybody was kind of going through something.
Yeah. Well, he still managed to win the thing. So whatever he did worked. Do you want to talk a little bit about your song in the audition and what the judges said and how that went?
For my celebrity auditions, I did Valerie by Amy Winehouse.
Cool.
And that was a song that J-Lo was like, oh, okay. And Harry Connick Jr. was just like, I want to see how you're going to compete. Like, he was like, I like your energy. I want to see you like next to the other people that we're saying yes to. I want to see how you compete with those people. I want to see how you perform next to those people. And so that was a thing. Michael Orland, shout out to Uncle Michael. Like,
I love Mike. I interviewed him. He's awesome.
Uncle Michael is amazing. And one thing I really love about him is he's still, I don't know if this is true for everyone, but he's still like, when I reach out to him, he still responds to me. He still like gives me feedback. Like, he's whatever, like if I'm under the comments, like, Uncle Mike, this is great. He's like, thanks, man. Like, so he's amazing. And he's super cutthroat. Like, I remember he's like, listen, don't F up.
Yeah.
Any questions? And I was like, oh no, that's pretty self-explanatory. And so yeah, just the way that he's willing to work with the voice. He was like, like singing lower but harder is not going to help you being hoarse. You know that, right? I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah. He was just like, the way that he kind of poured into everybody, I thought that was really amazing.
When I talked to him, he was saying that judges come and go and the show changes and, the ratings change, whatever. Like, it never mattered to him because what never changed was the work that he did with the contestants. And he wouldn't care if it was the biggest show on TV or if things dwindled. It was always the same special feeling of getting to meet aspiring artists and work with them and help them and see them grow and succeed after the show. Yeah, and so it's really cool and special that he still talks to you guys and still gives back,
Yeah. And that's how you can tell that his investment was genuine.
Yeah.
Because he still, like I said, he will still reach out. So that's really cool.
Now, in the audition, what were the judges saying about you after you did Valerie?
So that's when they were most of the feedback came from Harry Connick Jr. He was just saying like based on like I think that everybody just wanted to see me choose different songs. I think that was the thing. Like, it was like, your voice is really great, but what are you doing with it? Like, how are you showing us in the songs that you're choosing? I think that's why he wanted to. I think everybody, like, that was my experience throughout the entire process. I want to see you, but I want to see you do something different than what you're doing right now. And that, like I said, that was my experience throughout the entire time. I got a lot of feedback from like the vocal coaches and stuff. And so that was really helpful. And they helped a lot with like putting our own spin on the songs. If we wanted to make it a R&B song or a rock song or, you know, whatever, they helped a lot with that. And honestly, it feels like I didn't get a lot of time with the judges, only because for not all of them did they give feedback. Only I think 2 of my auditions did the celebrity judges give feedback. Everything else was like, okay, thank you, Mionne. Like, and so yeah. Oh, but one thing I really want to highlight that I didn't before is that we got to meet Keke Palmer. They were shooting in the studio right next door. They were getting ready for Grease when they did the Grease Live. And we got to meet Keke Palmer because they were rehearsing for Grease Live right next door. So that was really cool. Like, we really got to be in the industry. We got to rehearse at the places that they were. I think Justin Bieber was at a studio that we were at one point. Like, we really got to be in places that real people that we aspired to be were rehearsing. So it made us feel like we were right where we were supposed to be.
Wow, that's cool. So is this during Hollywood Week or still auditions, or
Yeah,
when was
because
this?
we're in Hollywood at this point. So yeah, this
Right.
is during Hollywood Week.
Keke Palmer, she's in so many different things. I literally still watch shows that she'll pop up in this and that, and I
She's
remember when she was
so
in True
great.
Jackson as a kid. Like, she's ever since then she's just been going up and up and up. It's so cool.
Yes. And shout out to her and her congratulations on her expecting her baby. That's amazing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, she's like big and pregnant now. She's
Oh
so
yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because I literally just I don't know if you ever watch Grey's Anatomy, but I
cute.
just got into it this year, and so I'm like on a season that's 10 years old, and she literally just guest starred in an episode playing a pregnant woman. So that
Yes.
was acting, and the guest 10 years later now she's actually having a baby.
Yes, 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 yes.
All I can say about that episode is hopefully it goes a lot smoother than it went in the episode
No,
of Grey's Anatomy.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh man, it must have been motivating to kind of be around other people that are doing the same thing as you, and knowing that even if you don't make it past this one show, you know, these people, they've been working really hard and they keep going. They keep pursuing this dream. So it's not American Idol, it's the next thing, it's something else, and you never know what that show's going to be. You never know what song is going to make it big. So I feel like being around people that have been really hustling for a long time, just like all you guys, it must have been really inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I do want to sing a song for you before I go. Maybe I can sing the Valerie song that I
Oh, that'd
sang
be great. Yeah, for
for the
sure.
audition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things of what you're doing. And in my head, I paint a picture. Mm. Oh, since I've come on home, my whole body's been a mess. I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. So won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over?
Woo! My Own Destiny, everybody. Do you want to plug your socials or anything before you head out?
Yes, yes. You can follow me everywhere at My Own Destiny. That's MIONNEDESTINY. My Own Destiny for everyone in the room.
Best outro. Thank you, My Own, so much for
Of
your
course.
time.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Before we go, we're also going to play my own single Gravity off of the American Idol Unaired playlist on Spotify. You can get to it from our Instagram at Idol Unaired Podcast, link in our bio. Make sure you follow that account at Idol Unaired Podcast. Make sure that you hit subscribe or follow wherever you may be listening or watching. You can also leave us a review, give us a couple stars if you'd like on your podcast platform, should you be listening, or leave a comment on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. Thank you, My Own. Here's My Own Destiny's single Gravity. Have a great day.
I hope that you cannot see. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I'm holding on to my seat. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While I'm floating overseas, I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While you call, I'm waiting to receive. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I hope that you cannot see. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I'm holding on to my seat. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While I'm floating overseas, I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While you call, I'm waiting to receive. God, just praying for some gravity. Tell me, how long did you get by? Saying to sit back and to sit tight, claiming the deliverance to get right. Always gave me that get right. I stayed down, never selfish. Brought things to the water for your help it. Always was my mind how you sell it, but you never bring your products to the shelf. We've been here before, cause you wrote it. Playing hide and go seek with your focus. I just did a back bend, did you notice? Come indulge in these flowers of lotus. On the real though, I invite you to act on your impulse. Wait, let me slow my tempo, cause I almost forgot what I'm here for. Goddamn, I hope that you cannot see. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I'm holding on to my seat. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While I'm floating overseas, I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While you call, I'm waiting to receive. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I hope that you cannot see. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I'm holding on to my seat. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While I'm floating overseas, I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While you call, I'm waiting to receive. God, just praying for some gravity. I can think of a few ways you can dose on my sun rays. You had me at foreplay, now everyone else is passe. Me, I'm just praying for some gravity. Praying for the pressure to connect my feet to the ground. Cause you sweat me sweet. Got me pouring oil at the base of the trees. Come see when I'm grounded what I can choose. Speak on you to bring me light like your name was Odu. Tired of the same old thing while I'm the fountain of youth. Guess I'm head over heels if we tell them the truth. Don't wanna share my feelings, scared of what you gon' do. What if what I got going ain't the same as you? Got me floating in the clouds without having a clue. I'm just praying that gravity makes the first move. I only you cannot see. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I'm holding on to my seat. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While I'm floating overseas, I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While you call, I'm waiting to receive. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I hope that you cannot see. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. I'm holding on to my seat. I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While I'm floating overseas, I'm praying gravity can take control of me. While you call, I'm waiting to receive. God, just praying for some gravity.